So let's continue. I think members coming in. I'd just like to remind you that last time we asked the administrations to give a response, and the response are in CB 1162/1516-02. The paper is table before you. Just that the administration has taken us through the paper. Members, any questions? Helena Wong, 4 minutes. Can the administration explain again clearly that is in comparison with other countries, the standards? Do we have a common basis for the standards? Mr. Liu, yes. For different jurisdictions, legal structures are different, but we've tried to, use the number of toilets as the basis. And for male, that covers urinals and water closet compartments. Helena Wong. So the figures in Hong Kong is the calculation is based on the ratio of male to female. Is the same basis adopted overseas, or did overseas countries consider the ratio of male to female at a place? Yes. Well, in the paper, we had stated that in UK and US, they did use the male to female ratio, which is 1:1, as the basis. And ours is 1:1.5. But if the basis for comparison is different, then what's the meaning of having the comparisons? I think you were basically asking about the female to male ratio, but we think that the most appropriate basis is ultimately how many urinals and water closet fitments. So paragraph 3 gave you the details, but let me repeat to you again. The ratio of male to female sanitary fitments, the new standards in Hong Kong have been upgraded, because in the past there were far more male toilets than female toilets. But now we've changed the ratio to 1:1.6. That is, for each one male toilet, that's 1.6 female toilet. In comparison with UK and US, we are ahead, because in those places the ratio is mostly 1:1.3, and here is 1:1.6. The ratio is similar in Singapore. To us, that is 1:1.6. So we'll keep the ratio of 1:1.6. Yes, that's the latest standard.
Now, Chairman, I'd like to ask, now, if we pass this new standard, when will we conduct a review to find out whether the consultants' report and the government's estimate do meet Hong Kong's needs? Will there be a review mechanism in your plan? Now, I think we all understand this new standard applies to new buildings. That is, after the new regulation commences in December, if new buildings come into being, and that, of course, would take time to build and be completed. So it will be several years before we think we should review the standards, and the administration will regularly assess whether the new standards are adequate. Mr. Liu, will you commit to come back to the development panel on the implementation of the new standards? And also, member asked about children's toilets and so on, and you have said that you would issue new practice notes to people in the trade. Will you provide us with a report? Sure. After the new regulations commence, we will come back to the development panel to report on the adoption of the new standards in new buildings. Chen Chi-chun. I remember at the end of the last meeting, members are concerned about the fact that this amendment regulation is not binding on government buildings, and this is now discussed in paragraph 5. That is, the ASD will be increasing the number of female toilet fitments, so it won't be worse than the amendment regulation. Now it says that the baby care rooms and fitments for use by children, the government will try to do its best. And also we're talking about unisex toilets. We're not talking about the toilet that's for the handicapped. Now, I think the government, the ASD, the buildings department understands this. I don't know whether the ASD understands this. So please express to ASD our concern. Yes, we measured this, and the practice notes are clear. That we encourage private premises to provide a unisex toilet, and since the ASD will refer to the practice notes, they will consider this requirement. Now we will write to the panel and inform that members are concerned about this, and so that they can discuss this in the panel. Because when it comes to buildings department, it's not under development panel. Yes, I think the buildings department, that's a matter for the development panel too. So we will ask the panel chairman to pay heed to this matter. Any other questions from members? If not, now last time we said that we already completed the clause-by-clause scrutiny in the previous meeting, and we will make a verbal report in the House Committee on Friday this year. If members want to move a amendment, it must be before midnight on 25th of November, and this will be then proposed and moved in the council meeting on 2nd December. Ms. Helena Wong, we were going to ask the administration, the MTRCL, and hospital authority to come today. They provide a written response. We have extended an invitation to them. And as members may appreciate, the time is not that adequate, and they have provided a written response to members' queries, and the information is already included in our document. Now, regarding the implementation of the new regulations in government buildings and the practice notes, I also propose that I will write to the panel and ask them to discuss how the new regulations will be implemented, especially in government buildings. And at that time, we can invite the relevant organizations and departments to attend the panel meeting, and so that the matter can be followed up, because this amendment regulation does not concern government buildings. Chairman, I think this is a possible arrangement. because we invite them and they don't come, and you say there's not enough time, so we'll allow ample time next time so that they can all come and tell us what specific plans they have to deal with buildings already completed and buildings yet to be completed, to be in line with the spirit of the regulation, so that we know what difficulties they have, and so that the public knows what will be the situation for unregulated buildings. Now, members are concerned about the number of fitments in the government buildings and the other related facilities, and so we'll ask that this be discussed in the panel. If there are no further matters, this is our last meeting. It's concluded. Thank you for attending.